Hi, everyone. Welcome down the rabbit hole. Okay, I'm here today to primarily talk about Gypsy, and I turned off my camera because I know I'm always like lagging behind with my videos, and I thought this might help a little bit. So we'll see how it goes. I'm going to primarily talk about some stuff going on with Gypsy, but I also wanted to talk a little bit about what's been going on with me with the Shonda Vander Ark case. Most of you know that I got interested in that case because I'm very curious about the psychology behind what's going on with that family. I actually had been a part of the Reddit group for a long time before ever bringing the case to my, hi Marcy, good to see you. I had been a part of the Reddit group for a long time before ever Mama Cat bringing this case to my channel, and I just didn't really post in there, but I found it absolutely shocking, everything that was going on. And I believe that there was so much more to the family after I saw some things in the group about Shonda's history. And that's why I've kind of gone down this rabbit hole, doing more of a deep dive on the family. And I have found it like absolutely true that there is so much crazy shit going on with the Shonda Vander Ark case. So I just want to make you aware of what's been happening for me. I know a lot of you have been leaving messages where you're like, I'm sorry, but actually it's no big deal at all. I'm not upset about it or anything. I just wanted to make you guys aware of what's going on in the background because it really speaks to the ongoing situation. By situation, I mean S-H-I-T. The shit that's happening behind the scenes with these people. I mean, sometimes I want to take a deep breath and say to myself, like, this is really about murder. Like these, and it's, to me, it's not only about the murder, it's about the torture of a child who, by everyone's account, was like a very loving and innocent child who needed protection and didn't get it. Okay. So we have that going on. And then I feel like what we're getting from looking at the aftermath of these people getting put into prison is a really like sobering reality check about what prison is really like for these people. That essentially, for some people, it's like you get put into prison, and even though, I mean, your freedoms are taken away, I don't want to be in prison, but like, especially for someone like Paul, to be able to game, watch movies, and just kind of sit alone in your small cell all day, it may not be that bad of a punishment, especially when you have this infamy where people are writing to you, they're wanting to create relationships with you, and you essentially feel like now all of a sudden you have friends when you never had them before, when you had no other life prospects, and now essentially you're famous from committing this murder. I mean, it's really been sobering for me to watch this. And as I tried to insert my own voice into like what was going on with the Shonda Vander Ark case and just wanting to talk about it on my channel, I'm not saying like, I understand that there are a lot of other channels that have already talked about this and have done a great job with it. I totally get that. I just wanted to insert some of my own stuff into it. And I've found it really shocking that because I have a difference of opinion, which is literally like, okay, you can disagree with me, but because I have a difference of opinion about a lot of things, people have been, like, fuck you. For one thing, because I've kind of been like, I question Paul's diagnosis or lack of a diagnosis. People get really, really angry about that. But then number two, because I wanted to like talk about the calls and everything, I think people were like, just very, I had a lot of feedback of like, where's the emails from these girlfriends? Like, I don't even know if I can believe that you're really getting emails. And I'm like, seriously? Like, why would I even care to make this up? This is so ridiculous. But if you're not aware, Paul's fiance and Shonda's girlfriend have both been messaging me, like behind the scenes, my tiny little channel, like they are super strung up on the idea that this is like something they need to get off the internet. They don't want the calls shown. They don't want me talking about them, because I think I am one of the only creators who's gone out on a limb and said, like, for example, number one, I believe Paul's fiance is a predator. And that was like the title of one of my videos. Paul's fiance is a predator, you know? And she didn't like that. So I'm just going to show you here in case you're not aware what's happened with all of this. Let's see if I can go down and show you what happened first. Okay. Oh, yeah. So the first thing that happened for me is that Shonda's girlfriend contacted me, and you can go back and look at some of the videos I did about it. One thing that's happened is a lot of people have been saying, like, I'm really annoyed with you because you're putting things about this horrible murder case behind a paywall for your membership. And I just want to say, that's absolutely not true. That's totally made up. I never put anything on my membership about this. So everything that's happened to me, everything that I've gotten, every little bit of research or information that I have is available to everyone on the channel for free. It's not behind a paywall in any way, shape, or form. So Shonda's girlfriend contacted me after I put out the phone call of her like speaking to Shonda on the phone. And I want to say that I had some people, like, they came to me and they were like, oh my gosh, you can't play that because, you know, Zav Girl is the one who put that out and that's only for Zav Girl. Well, Kathy, who are you? And why do you do this every time you're here? You're like literally funding my life at this point. Thank you so much. Katie says, I'm so glad you're doing this. Please don't give up. Your opinion matters. Oh, thank you so much. So, you know, I had put out the video of, it's audio of Shonda speaking to her girlfriend. Okay. Hi, Kathy. You are like so sweet. Of Shonda speaking to her girlfriend, and their girlfriend struck my channel for it. Right. Okay. Well, then she started emailing me back and forth. I have a whole video on this, but the point of it all was that at some point she asked me to sign a contract with her. And I was just like, no, that's not good. I absolutely would not sign a contract that is in any way related to Shonda Vander Ark. And it took me a little while to figure it out. I know that there were people on my channel who were saying that that call was only for Zav girls, so on and so forth. But for one thing, this is one thing I have to say to all of you. A lot of people come to my channel and say a lot of things, and they are not always true. It may be like 50-50, okay? I was under the assumption that there were phone calls that Zav girl had that were only for her. And then there were like other phone calls that were being used on TikTok and Instagram, and they were FOIA requested and it was okay to use them. Now, some people are like, no, you shouldn't do that. But, you know, once again, it's like, how am I to know? Who knows what's going on? In the end, I found out that this girlfriend literally only recorded this call. It was not a FOIA request. The girlfriend recorded it herself. And she recorded it specifically to give it to Zav Girl, have her play it on her show, and then she was going to strike anyone else who tried to use the call. And I think that is a load of bullshit. I want to say first and foremost, I have nothing negative to say about Zav Girl when it comes to this, because I do understand that you are going to be like, I want to get information about this case. This is part of what my channel is like showing whatever I can. But I think it's absolute bullshit from Shonda and the girlfriend, because it's clearly wanting to completely control the narrative about them. Now, I'm not on Zav Girl's channel. I don't have her membership, so I'm not sure what she said about this call, but my perception of Zav Girl based upon what I've seen is that she just presents things and then like lets people make their own decisions. So I'm not sure if that's what she did, but my decision about these people is that they're a bunch of assholes. You know what I mean? Like, I just cannot stand Shonda's girlfriend and what she is trying to do with this. Now, I went on Reddit recently, and Reddit has a lot of opinions about what's going on with Shonda's girlfriend. They actually think she's also involved with Paul, that she's also calling and communicating with Paul, that she is playing with both of them. That is the theory, and I'm still going down the rabbit hole on that. I am aware of who Shonda's girlfriend is because she struck my channel. So I'm kind of like going back and forth on what I think about this. But either way, even if she's not the same person talking to Paul, this is a load of bullshit. And I just want to put it out there that these people are playing games. So Shonda's girlfriend did that. And then, I don't know, within 10 hours, I start getting emails from Jenny, Paul's fiance. So here I write, I received a message from Paul's fiance stating she would have my channel removed for playing her calls and using her pictures. Okay. So she went, I'll just read to you what she wrote to me. There was a second paragraph, but it didn't seem that important. So here's what she wrote. I am Jenny, Paul's fiance, and you are going against YouTube's guidelines by airing my calls, posting pictures of my minor daughter, amongst other things. So, I haven't posted any pictures of her minor daughter unless she's using her minor daughter's picture as one of her pictures. I don't know. If you go to the hate speech part of guidelines, you cannot post anything on someone who is a victim of a crime or their kin. Okay, so this is interesting to me. She starts to go into how apparently she's a victim of a crime. So she said, I was held hostage less than 2 years ago. It is an ongoing criminal case. He currently is a fugitive. I am not going to report you immediately as Katie did. So she clearly had watched. So because she's outing her, Katie is the name of the of Shonda's girlfriend. You know, what's really interesting is that Jenny and Shonda's girlfriend know each other. So Jenny and Katie know each other. Katie says, I had to block Jenny. I'm sick of her. And Jenny says, I want to report you immediately as Katie did. That makes me think that these two, like, how do they know each other? I think they're probably part of a group of people who do this. That's just my opinion. How would they know each other if there's not something behind them being like matched up together? If you prioritize me and my daughter's safety and remove me and Paul's calls along with any photos having to do with me, my attorney has been dealing with YouTube getting multiple channels removed. Do the right thing, unlike the other YouTubers who had their channels removed. I don't think anyone had their channels removed. I will attach your violation and will give you today to remove me and Paul's calls along with photos of me and my family. If not removed, I will report you as well. And I wrote, I did not post pictures of her minor daughter. So I did private some of the calls only because I used pictures of her. So I'm going to go back and remove the pictures, but I'm going to leave the calls up, and I'm actually going to do all of the calls now, even if none of you watch them, just to let Jenny know, like, no, these calls are FOIA requested, and you can't push people around just because they're not saying what you want them to say about you. Okay. So that's what I need to say about it. All right. Let me go over here. Triple J is explaining that the call I played from Shonda's girlfriend, it was actually recorded by the girlfriend and given to Zav, and then Zav played it. Zav Girl is a channel on YouTube. And I guess the girlfriend only wanted Zav to have it. I was not aware of all that. I mean, some people had written things in my comments about it, but I thought it was like maybe Zav had some special calls, but there were also calls available for everybody. That was very generous of Kathy. Yes, she's actually done that a couple of times. It's so sweet. Monetization can be disabled if you don't want to be given super chat stickers. Yes, I've thought about doing that, and I've thought about taking my membership away too, because I haven't posted very much in my membership. I'm going back and forth with it because I do work hard to bring stuff to this channel, and I do want to make some positive monetization off of it. You know, I use this money from my channel for stuff for my kids, and I don't think I could post as much if I wasn't making like some money off of it. But I also really don't like being accused of like using it in the wrong way. So I'm kind of back and forth about it, and I'm trying to decide. Thank you, Lizbeth. Okay. Now, oh, Amber, thank you. That means a lot. All the positive things mean a lot to me. Okay. And once it's on the internet, it's forever. Yes. Okay. So if you guys aren't aware, did you guys see this? Let me see if I can go and find it. Do I go to my channel? You can see I'm not even like on my page that much. All right. Oh, let me show you this. So this is my dramatic reenactment of Shanda and her girlfriend's call.
Pizza Hut just changed the combo game with the new My Hut Box, starting at $6.99.
Hello? Hello? It's me, a serenade. How sweet. And this wasn't planned at all, so I could record it and put it on Zav Girl's channel. Not at all. I was wondering if after all these calls you'd like to meet. Wait, hold on. Okay. I can't hit the crescendo, all right? Just go back, rewind, restart the call, erase what we did, record again, okay? And this time my thoughts are, let's pretend like you're asleep when you answer, because then it'll be really believable when we sell it to Court TV, okay? Hello. So tired. I'm so tired. Okay, cut on that one because you suck at acting. All right, we'll just have to do it again. But for now, let's go over it. Did you put the money from my inheritance on my account? Because that's literally what I'm using you for. Well, yeah, in between doing yoga and trying to save the world, I did get a bunch of money out of your inheritance account for you, and I, took some for myself, and then I put it on your books as well. Good to go. Plenty of phone calls for the two of us because we're in love. Yeah, love, right. I definitely feel emotions.
WTF for sure, my pal Sal. Okay, so the call between Shonda and her girlfriend is available on Reddit. You should go over there and check it out under Shonda Vander Ark. I just saw it, there's a full call there. So you can check it out for yourself. And, you can see how my dramatic adaptation lines up with the call. If you don't get it, it's definitely WTF. It's my sense of humor, and I just thought I would make fun of the fact that the girlfriend forced me to take the call down, because I really think that that's just her working on the part of Shonda. All right, so that's what I wanted to say about the Shonda Vander Ark case. Now I want to get into some stuff about Gypsy Rose. Okay, now I see some people fighting in the comments about Zav Girl. I think that that's really inappropriate. I am going to say this. I don't know everything about Zav Girl. I've had some people say some negative things about her. I have loved her content over the last couple of weeks that I've been watching her. She seemed fair. I loved her interview of Paige, Shonda's younger sister. Oh my God, Paige came to my channel and she was writing some stuff to me. She was just saying I like your videos or something, which was nice. I'm really hesitant to even think negatively about other creators, because I know the shit that I've been put through on YouTube. I've had a lot of shit happen to me, and I actually took my channel down for a little while, and I've had people assume things about me that just aren't true in any way, shape, or form. So I'm not going to assume anything about Zav Girl, except that I liked the interview that she did, and I liked watching some of her Shonda Vander Ark stuff. So if you don't like that about me, then it's fine not to be here. So, okay. All right. I don't want to talk about Zav anymore in the chat, please. Thank you so much. All right. Okay. So this is about Gypsy Rose. Now I want to show you guys, this is the toxic web of Christy Blanchard, which I made a month and a half ago. I was playing with it on my computer while my kids were typing something on their computers next to me. And I made this extremely professional web. I can't figure out how else to make a diagram on my computer. You know what I mean? So I made this, and I was like, okay, I'm going to make this full length video about Kristi and all the bullshit she has been doing on YouTube and TikTok and all these places for years now. And I don't have that much time. I'm only going to go for about 15 minutes more, but I was going to make this whole video about it. I'm still working on it because I have so much going on in my life right now. I have a child graduating from elementary school, and I'm in charge of helping with the graduation. I just have a lot going on, but and I want to really give this video the time and energy that I want to give to it, because just so that you're aware, Christy Blanchard approached me in the very beginning when Gypsy first got out of prison. I don't know if it was the end of January or beginning of February. Christy came to my channel and she left several comments to me. Okay. And her comments were about a lot of different things. One thing was, and you can go back and listen to this if you'd like to, is that I had gotten an interview with this man who has autism, who had been a pen pal friend of Gypsy's when she was in prison. Okay. The guy came to me and he said, hey, I'm a friend of Gypsy's, and I want you to know I do have autism, but I have this long history with her, and I wanted to talk to you about like some things that have happened. And basically this guy freaking loves Gypsy, is like crazy about her. And he ended up contacting her when she was in prison. They became like pen pals, friends. They talked on the phone like every day. He lives in New York City and he's like a theater buff. So he would go, like he talked to me about going to a play. I think it was like Cinderella, and he knew Gypsy loved Cinderella. So he got her like a special figurine, like a porcelain figurine, and sent it to whoever to put it somewhere for Gypsy. And Gypsy was like so happy about this. And I thought, oh my God, is this like another Nicholas Godejohn thing? It was like a whole thing. He and I had a big long interview together, and it was really sad because essentially he had been friends with her for a long time when she was in prison. And then she just, like, as her stay in prison ended, she had a total falling out with him and wouldn't speak to him anymore. And so I had done a whole like series about this because he knew about her relationship with Rachel Garlick, the fact that she had been getting money from like the TikTok accounts. And he was telling me about it, but in this way where he's like, I just really, in this like so innocent way where he was like, I just really love Gypsy. Do you think that like exposing what Rachel Garlick did will help like Gypsy and I like form our relationship again? And I had to really talk to him about it. And it was very hard because I had to be like, look, there's not going to be a relationship between you and Gypsy. I can only give you so much information about what's going on here. There was a very complicated relationship where I had to keep up boundaries, but also like let him know what it would be like when I put the video out. And he was really good about it. He accepted, because I was like, I have a lot of negative things to say about Gypsy as well as positive, because at that time I was still thinking positively about her, and he was very good about handling it. And I still consider him, like, every once in a while he messages me. He's a nice person. And it's hard to watch him because he still has like a lot of really positive things to say about Gypsy. He's in my true crime group, and he'll still post like, God bless Gypsy every once in a while. And people will be like, oh my God, like, well, who is this person? Like, I just don't understand. And I'm just like, let him do what he wants. Let him be who he wants to be. Let him post what he wants to post. Everybody is different. You know what I mean? Like, everybody can have their own opinion about things. And so for him, like, he's really into Gypsy. That's kind of his obsession. So long story, that was a really long story. But the point of it all being that, Amy 55, okay. The point of it all being that Kristi came into my comments on that video, and she was like, well, I really don't like him. She wrote some stuff about Gypsy can't be involved with this person because he's too into her. Like, she went on and on about it. And then she spoke extensively about Rachel Garlick, like in my comments as well. And I was just like refusing to even like go there with her. I don't know exactly what I said back to her, but I was just like, these are people that I've spoken to. I have the story directly from them, and I'm going to tell all sides of the story. And she also said some things in my comments, like, just so you know, Katie Joy is a friend of mine, because I think people were questioning it in the comments. And so right from there, I knew that something was off. I knew that there was something weird going on here, because here's Kristi, like, having these really weird relationships with creators. I already knew she had a very weird relationship with Fancy Maselli, and now she's having this weird relationship with Katie Joy Paulson from Without a Crystal Ball. And over time, it was all exposed because Fancy Maselli came forward and she let everyone know there's this huge web of people. Kristi has been manipulating people to go after each other. She's been treating people like crap. And as you can see at the bottom here, I had added on, like, about a month and a half ago, I added on this person, Ryan Lee, who was kind of new to the web. She had become friends with Fancy Maselli. She had been going live with Fancy. They had been interacting as creators. And then she had a huge falling out with Fancy Maselli. And who showed up in her chat? Christy Blanchard. And they became, quote unquote, very good friends. You know what I mean? All right, so I am going to go ahead and play a little bit of Ryan Lee's most recent video in which she talks about what happened between her and Christy Blanchard. And I'm sorry for the chat. I'll try to go in there and fix some things about it. All right, let's listen a little bit.
pinned videos will explain a lot. If you need backstory on what I'm about to say, my 2 pinned videos will explain a lot of it. But I'm going to go into how true crime creators on TikTok were used to bolster Gypsy's new reality TV show's ratings. And I'm going to give you a real good reason why. Who am I? I am a schmuck on true crime TikTok side. And I fell out with the creator. And within 2 days, Gypsy Rose's stepmother came knocking on my door virtually and wanted to, extend her condolences for me having to deal with this said person. And me and Kristi struck up a friendship. So I thought. And we talk all the time. Text message, phone calls. And for those of you who say that I was this or I was that, it's fine. Believe me, don't care. Not the point of this whole video. For about 2 or 3 weeks' time, I was given inside knowledge into the workings of.
So this is Ryan Lee. You can check out her channel on YouTube. It is very interesting because Ryan literally had this really weird relationship with Christy Blanchard for about 2.5 weeks. You can go back and look at those videos. During that period of time, she would be like, well, I have information from Christy, but I'm not allowed to talk about it. But, I'm essentially acting as like Christy's liaison. I'm trying to help with Gypsy. Kristi was doing the same shit she's always done with every creator she's come across. She picks people who want to like feel good, feel special, maybe like elevate their channel a little bit by having this relationship with her. And it all played out on Ryan Lee's channel. And about a week ago, Kristi like cut off all contact with Ryan. They had a big falling out, and Ryan is just starting to realize like all the bullshit
of Gypsy and Ryan. Things that couldn't get out. They had to be told. They had to be held secret and dear. And don't let them out. Oh no, please do not ever let them out. And then they ended up in People magazine. Not by me. Shocker. I really feel like I was going to be made to try to make Ryan look like a horrible, horrible person. And I'm going to tell you why. In the beginning of March, when I first started talking to Kristi, she told me and another creator about how there was a video of Ryan going so off the wall crazy, out of control. She had to lock herself in a bathroom because the bitch loves bathrooms, and that he was out of control and he was wild and she was scared, and she said that he acted just like her mom. I'm sure y'all read about that on People magazine after the fact. And I told her, I said, I don't think that's a really horrible, whatever. Time went on, a couple weeks pass, and then I find out that the night before, Gypsy and Ryan had this big row, and Gypsy's staying at her sister's house, and they're going to go rescue Gypsy and bring her back to the bayou, and she's going to come live with them.
So this is all information Ryan received from Kristi. Kristi was feeding her this information. Now, Ryan does not have a big channel on YouTube. When you go to her channel, you'll see it's kind of small, but it's growing. But she has a huge platform on TikTok, and TikTok is where Gypsy is most popular, and she's getting a lot of attention. And Kristi went to Ryan to use her. And I believe this is the only reason why Kristi hasn't used like Katie Joy Paulson a little bit more, is that Katie Joy doesn't have a TikTok presence. All right. And I know that Kristi kind of gets that YouTube is just not, they're savvy like this. Like Gypsy is not into YouTube. She's of a younger generation. Wow. Her mindset is definitely of a younger generation. She wants to be on TikTok, and she knows that is where her fans are. So they used Ryan, just like they have used countless, maybe like 10 plus creators before, to create a crazy, chaotic narrative about Gypsy, to put it out there, to say a lot of positive things about her, but also to be like, oh my God, there's so much going on in her life. It's insane. Abuse, horrible things happening to her. Watch the series, do this, do that. So they were using Ryan like they have used so many others before her to increase the reach of Gypsy, to make more fans, more people who are obsessed with her, to make this story like bigger and bigger.
And I, being the person that I am, extend my hand. And it bit me. As y'all know, I'm not Gypsy's biggest fan, but I did become friends with her stepmother. So I kind of called a truce, said I wouldn't put out a bunch of anti-Gypsy rhetoric.
Okay. So that is a part of Ryan's live, which she did. I don't know if it was this morning or yesterday. You can go to her channel to check out the rest of it. But basically, she says that Christy Blanchard was feeding her, that Ryan Anderson, that is Gypsy's like husband that she's divorcing, was abusing her. And okay, we all know that Without a Crystal Ball has made statements like that too. But where did she get the information from? From Christy Blanchard. Now, she might have seen a video of Ryan being abusive, but here's the thing. And Katie Joy Paulson herself has said this. Gypsy and Ryan are making a reality show, not a documentary. In a reality show, they script that for you. It is scripted. You know, they have you sit in a car, they put a camera up, they tell you what you're supposed to talk about, they give you your talking points, and you're supposed to like act it out in the car. So I have to question if there is some issue with Ryan, like, quote unquote, yelling at Gypsy or being inappropriate with Gypsy, if it isn't just like a scripted part of the series. I mean, I have no way of knowing. I certainly hope that, you know, Ryan wasn't abusing, even like verbally abusing Gypsy. But I mean, we certainly haven't seen that behavior from him. He seems like very quiet on his Instagram. But you know what? Like, I understand that things happen behind closed doors that don't always happen out in front of everyone. But here's the thing. It's like Gypsy constantly has some stupid, like chaotic thing happening in her life where it's really hard to believe or trust her about anything. And although I have been someone who has supported Gypsy in the past, as far as like, I really believe that she was abused, I have completely withdrawn any thoughts I had of giving her support. I mean, I still believe she was abused. I still believe she's a victim of Munchausen by proxy, but her behavior lately is so out of control and so vile that I'm done. I'm done like trying to give her grace. I'm done trying to like look at any kind of redemption for her. And that specifically has to do with the creator that's on the screen right now. Her name is Adaptive Kate. And if you guys aren't aware, Gypsy and Katie Joy Paulson bullied her off of TikTok. She was a huge creator on TikTok. She has a history of Munchausen's by proxy where her mother had her leg amputated. And she speaks out extensively about the abuse she suffered. Both her and her sister, I guess, were abused in these kinds of ways. She speaks out about it. She had been interviewed on Hidden True Crime, which is a great podcast. You can go over there and look at it. Her channel is completely gone from TikTok now. Gypsy had been kind of bullying her for a while, and she feels that Gypsy's fans really bully her too. But as soon as Katie Joy Paulson got involved, Kate said she could not take it anymore. She literally went to Nina, Flawless Nina, and said, like, I just cannot take this anymore. And I can't go up against Katie Joy Paulson, which I thought was really sad. Okay, so I want to show you, this is the new premiere of Gypsy's new like reality show that's coming out. And I got it from Haiti Joyless on Instagram. I really like this account, so that's one of the reasons why I wanted to show it to you. Please follow if you're on Instagram. They do a great job talking about Gypsy. They also talk about Katie, which of course I've always been interested in. But the reality show is once again kind of setting Gypsy up as a victim and that Ryan is essentially abusive to her. And I just wanted to show a little bit about that here.
Call Ken. You're probably already talking to him anyway.
I don't want to go through my whole life being the girl that murdered her mother. You know my story. All right, now let's see what I do with my life. I have my freedom now. It's new to me.
Captain Gypsy Road.
Never had a puppy before. I don't know how to cook. I'm terrified! Hadn't had a sex life to speak of.
Ryan, the bee is fire.
We consummated our...
We can clearly see that a big part of all of this is going to be, let me just send this to voicemail, is going to be talking about her sex life with Ryan. I just want to emphasize that it's clear to me that this is going to be a reality show rather than a documentary. I actually am going to have to go because I think the person is here to work on. We have a leak in our house. Our house is always leaking from everywhere, and they're supposed to come at 10. But I wanted to talk a little bit about these voice messages that Katie Joy Paulson left for Kate Marie, Adoptive Kate. In the voice messages, Katie Joy Paulson says that Lifetime really pushed Gypsy to get pregnant for this show. And I just want to say, like, I don't doubt that that is true. And it is something that really bothers me. Unfortunately, these kinds of reality shows, they just feed on exactly who Gypsy and Kristi are, that the drama constantly needs to come about in order to keep us interested. And I still don't know what I'm going to do about this, whether or not I'm going to talk about this show, because like I said, it's really been hard to cover some of these topics and feel like people are such assholes, you know? So we'll see what happens. I do think I want to take a look back at the show that happened in January. I'm going to do like an autopsy on it of like, I want to look at how Gypsy was acting like Ryan was like the biggest thing in her life and how that has all crumbled over the past couple of months. I think that's maybe more interesting than what she has to say on her new show. All right, guys, I have to head off to do this appointment. Thank you so much for being here and listening to me. Much love to all of you who stick around. You guys, the positive comments that I get really keep me going, because there are many times over that I'm like, oh, YouTube. Thank you for being here. And I hope that I can see you all again soon. I'll try to do a couple more lives this week before my kids get out of school. Much love to all of you.